Read your ex's mind with this method. Hello there, I'm Coach Abby. Thank you so much for joining me today on Love Advice TV. Love Advice TV is a channel that's been created uniquely for you to assist you in navigating through any relationship challenges. So, if you're watching this, it's likely that you're experiencing complicated emotions after a breakup. Or perhaps you're just trying to understand how to communicate effectively with someone you once shared a deep bond with. This is a perfect time to focus on the art of mind reading, possible when you look at things not only from your perspective, but also from their perspective. One thing's for sure, every breakup needs to create conditions to heal from its initial devastating blow. And it is. So let's talk about a crucial step in the healing process, and that is acknowledging the breakup. It's not just about getting closure or convincing your ex to reconsider the decision. It's about showing maturity, accountability, and a genuine willingness to move forward. When you acknowledge the breakup in a thoughtful and meaningful way, you lay the groundwork for both of you to be able to find a fresh perspective and a renewed understanding. After all, this approach is what ultimately will lay the groundwork towards the possibility of reconciliation. You may be asking yourself, Abby, what do you mean by acknowledging the breakup? I know that's easier said than done. However, it's important to understand that a breakup comes with emotional and psychological impacts that can hit both partners really hard. By default, we tend to get stuck on our feelings of anger, of confusion, of sadness, while failing to recognize that our ex is probably feeling one or all of these emotions as well. So the first thing we need to do is acknowledge the breakup's effects on both of you. This step is not about assigning blame. It's about being honest with yourself and recognizing how both of you have been affected emotionally. It's about validating not just your feelings, but your exes as well. They're going through their own emotional turmoil, believe me. They may also be hurting. Acknowledge this. Express empathy. By saying, I can see how this breakup has affected you, or I understand why you felt the way you did, you open the door to deeper communication. And when you do this, you're not only showing emotional intelligence, but you're also giving them permission to express their emotions without judgment. You're showing that you understand their perspective. This is crucial in moving forward with understanding. Now let's talk a little bit about accountability. One of the most important things you can do is take full responsibility for your actions. Breakups are rarely caused by one single factor. So avoid the temptation to point fingers at each other. Ask yourself, what role did I play in this breakup? What actions, behaviors, or mistakes did I make? And more importantly, what has this breakup taught me? Owning your part in the breakup is the first step to healing, not just for you, but for both of you. If you've done something that hurt your ex, it's important to apologize sincerely, not just for the sake of saying sorry, but because you genuinely feel regret for how your actions impacted them. A heartfelt apology is incredibly powerful. It's not about trying to manipulate the situation, but about showing that you're aware of the consequences of your actions. It's very powerful. Let's talk about clarity now. There is where we break down the specific issues that led to the breakup. You can't just say we broke up because things weren't working. That's too vague and unhelpful, actually. Instead, reflect on the relationship and identify key moments or patterns that caused strain. Be specific. Think about the arguments, the misunderstandings, and the issues that seem to come up over and over again. Maybe it was a lack of communication. Maybe it was different expectations. Maybe there were some unresolved conflicts. Whatever it was, be honest about it. Share your thoughts without generalizing. Don't try to oversimplify the situation or make excuses. Instead, explain any misunderstandings or miscommunication. What you want is for your ex to know that you've really reflected on what happened and that you now understand what went wrong. Now, this leads us to talking about personal transformation. This part is key. You need to convey that you have learned something from this experience. It's a given. Breakups often lead to significant self-reflection, and growth comes from that self-awareness. Whether we like it or not, we're forced to look inside. So take time to share with your ex the ways in which you changed. What lessons have you learned? Have you done any personal work? Have you considered coaching? I encourage you to start by taking the free assessment questionnaire provided below to help determine what steps to take moving forward. What you really want is to show your ex that you've been actively working on yourself with the goal of becoming a better partner and of learning from past mistakes. This is so powerful. It demonstrates emotional maturity and responsibility. You're not just saying, I've changed. You're showing it through your actions. By doing this, you create a foundation of trust that you're just not talking the talk, but you're walking the walk, excuse me. The goal here is to let them see that you're putting real effort into becoming a better version of yourself, whether or not they decide to continue the relationship. Now, this is super important. Measure the length of time you are dedicating to the conversation. You don't want it to be a drawn-out conversation allowing past negative issues to resurface in a way that it stays with them hours after you are gone. It's important to end on a positive, lighthearted note. After everything has been said and done, it's easy for the emotions to feel really heavy. But the goal is to leave the conversation feeling composed and optimistic about the future. Remember, you don't need to seal the deal right now. Don't pressure them into deciding whether they want to get back together or not. Acknowledge that they may be not at that same place, and that's okay. Just thank them for listening to you, for hearing you out, and for allowing this open dialogue. And by saying something like, I really appreciate you giving me the time to share my thoughts. I'm committed to grow, and I hope we can both move forward with understanding and respect, whether or not we find our way back to each other. This is worth repeating, whether or not we find our way back to each other. This alone speaks volumes of your commitment towards working on your own personal growth, regardless of what occurs between the both of you moving forward. So important. So in conclusion, it's so vital that we focus on what the breakup meant, not just for the relationship, but for the both of you as individuals. It's about acknowledging your past mistakes. It's about showing personal growth, and it's about demonstrating that there's potential for healing. The process of acknowledging a breakup may feel uncomfortable, and it is, but it's necessary. It's an opportunity to reconnect, not just with your ex, but with yourself, your growth, and your future. If you're unsure on how to approach this, I invite you to book a one-on-one session with me. Together, we'll create a narrative that will help make challenging conversations flow with ease and grace. As always, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, please, for more tips on personal growth, mending broken relationships, and everything in between. Until next time, I'm Coach Abby.